All right, Pat, how do you throw a fastball? Like what you got a ball, like what are you doing to throw a fastball?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've thrown a fastball before, but basically, I would grip it something like that. I think it's called a four seam fastball across there, and
Yep.
um,
Just rip it as hard as you can, basically, right?
yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, so I've seen you throw a fastball before. I don't know if we can call it fast, but
Oh,
it's moving. I'm trying to work.
really?
You're like you're my own client here remotely. Try to build you up a little bit, but that's exactly right. There's two different types: uh, four seam fastball, like you had it, or a two seam fastball. So the reasoning that you call it four seams and two seams is uh, the way that how many seams the ball passes over. So um, if it's this way spinning, you can kind of count where your fingers were. You got one, two, three, four, where it rolls around.
Hmm.
That's kind of where you've seen that. And then two, it rolls around, one, two,
So
that.
how does that change the pitch?
So with the four seamer, it's going to have perfect backspin and it's going to travel pretty straight.
Hmm.
And this two seam is going to have a little bit of tilt on it as it comes out of your hand.
Why
And
is
it's
no? Is that because you do it on purpose, or because of naturally how it comes out?
just naturally how it comes out. So this two seam grip, and it basically comes down to how the ball is traveling in the air. So with this four seamer having perfect backspin, it's going to travel straight. The air is going to go over it straight.
Okay.
When you tilt it a little bit and it starts to go over these two seams and how it's getting more, I mean, I guess to get technical, the wind will move the ball differently when it's going around two seams. So you will
Yep.
sometimes see it move more toward the arm side
Okay.
when you throw it. And so there's just the distinction, which grip you're going to use, four seam like
Do you
this,
think that
or
has to do with how long your middle finger is versus your index finger?
I would say yes,
Yeah.
because when it comes out of your hand, it's going to
Yep.
it's going to start to spin a little differently. Whereas if it's a four seam, it comes out of your hand, it's going to spin pretty much.
Yeah, well, and you're getting that grip on the seam, so you're kind of pushing off like that. That makes sense, and that makes sense that it would tail towards the arm side.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
if you even want to get it to move more on a two seamer, you would put some more pressure on your pointer finger.
Okay.
That way it would come off at a more, I mean, I guess just a different angle. So if you have more pressure on your pointer finger, it'll start to spin
That way. Yeah.
that way.
Okay.
And even fingers apart versus fingers together, you can get more pressure on your pointer finger and that'll really get it to spin.
Okay.
So even with four seamers, like for me, I used to hold it my fingers apart and now I kind of bring them together. That's just a basic, how I feel with it is I've even seen a little bit more spin on the ball, spin rates and things when I have my fingers together. But some people like you just pick up the ball, you're going to hold it with your fingers apart.
Yep.
That's perfectly fine too. So um, I think it's just whatever feels right. And even if a young kid is trying to do stuff, I sometimes would teach like a three-fingered fastball
Yep.
because their hands are smaller.
Yep.
That way they still get that spin that you want,
Okay.
that perfect backspin. And so they're still able to do that with their three-finger grip.
Yep. I have one more question about the two seamer. So if you're doing the fingers apart versus fingers together, do you want your fingers to stay to the index finger side, like so your index finger stays on that seam, or is it kind of variable?
It's variable a little bit, but the more you can um, stack the ball, so I guess the easiest way, the more you can stack your fingers on this side of the ball,
Yep.
the more spin will come off it because you want it to spin kind of like offset like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So if you can just stack up your fingers, and some guys will even like tuck their thumb underneath the ball.
Hmm.
Like I've seen that. So you can, as long as you got some seam um, for your pointer finger to rip on, you can kind of do whatever you want with, and moving your thumb underneath a little bit more will get it to really, and you just want it to come off, and that's going to make it run toward the arm side versus a four seam just being straight.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. That's good information.
Different ways to throw fastballs, but ultimately you want to throw it fast. So whatever grip you get, throw it as hard as you can.
There you go.